busking on the side of the street at night just to pay bills, pay rent. His friends saw me, and they said, "Hey, we got this guy who runs karaoke at one of the bars," because he was running karaoke at the time. "Oh, would you like to meet him?" And oh, yeah, whatever. Because lots of drunk people, so you just kind of brush it off a bit. And then he came along, we started clicking.
What's good, lovely people? Welcome to another episode of Den Devine Sessions. This is recorded live from Den Devine, a music venue right here in Broadbeach, Gold Coast, Australia. I'm your host, Joseph Brown, a musician, a creator, and a passionate advocate for all things music. With years of experience on the stage and behind the scenes, I'm here to bring you stories from the heart of the music industry. Whether you're an upcoming musician, a seasoned pro, or dedicated music fan, this podcast is for you. Let's get into the episode.
It's Den Devine time.
Den Devine.
Den Devine.
Den Devine time.
This podcast is brought to you by Vemu, Rethinking Live Music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Den Devine Sessions. How you guys going, man? You guys good?
Yeah, no, we're doing good, mate. Thanks for having us. Haven't been here for a while. Actually haven't been here at all. But no, yeah, lovely being here.
Yep. And how about you, Huri?
Yeah, feeling great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, too easy, man. Too easy. So it's been a bit of obviously crazy weekend. I'm not gonna hide anything today. Obviously we're here at Den Devine to talk about music and the journey and stuff like that. We'll get into some of the more complex conversations later on, but I think most importantly, the big thing is around music, and one of the places I want to start is obviously what got you guys into music. So yeah, what sort of
like us as a group, or just us?
I'm sure bro, I'm Māori as well, so music's a part of our culture.
Yeah.
But at what point did you guys decide to transition into obviously now doing festivals and some of the big stages and taking it on that professional level? Yeah, what was the sort of...
in terms of my own musical journey, I've been into music since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Like 8, 9, but never played any instruments or did any kind of formal thing.
Yeah.
Just loved music because I grew up around it. My nan had lots of records, so my grandmother was listening to the Beatles, Chaka Khan, like just a wide range of mix, and then whatever the top 40 of was at the time.
Yeah.
So having that as kind of like in my ears growing up, it helped me. I didn't start playing an instrument till high school.
Yeah.
So it's quite late in terms of the musical game. A lot of these kids, or a lot of people play when they're like really little. A lot of them are playing when they're like really little kids.
Yeah.
8 or 9. I started at 13, 14, and then, so that was my musical journey. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to do this as a profession or in any kind of formal capacity. It was just a hobby,
Crazy.
so to speak. Yeah. And then, that's me at least. What about you, mate?
What was the question again?
How'd you get into music? How'd you get into music?
Oh, how did I get into music? Yeah. Well, I think my journey is very much similar to TJ's. Brought up around music. I was brought up around music, with my Karaoke or my grandmother and grandfather, and parties at home. You know how our Māori people are. We love to party. And
for sure.
We love to sing. So, when someone's having a party, out comes the guitar and in comes the neighbours and, in comes the whole street. But being kids, we were never allowed to be around them, but you could just hear the serenade of music just coming through the walls, Myself and my cousins, obviously our type of music that we do is feel-good music, old school music, it's the sort of music that we love people to sing along with us, because it's like a I roto i te reo Māori, it's called hokinga mahara, in the Māori language. It means, you're returning your memory to a time, like nostalgia. It's like a nostalgic memory, And so a lot of people, that's why, even when we're playing, a lot of people will cry sometimes when they hear the music because it takes them back to a time in their life where, they were surrounded by their whānau who maybe not with us anymore, and stuff like that. So that was where my musical journey, and all my cousins sung. We'd just sit there and we're in the lounge, they're in the kitchen partying, and we're just singing along with them in the lounge, So it's a sort of like my journey started at home, you know.
Culturally, like it's fully embedded into our
Oh
culture,
yeah,
right?
of course, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the obviously it's become a big part of his show, but Fiji singing E Papa,
Yeah.
and it's the only time you'll see a full crowd sing in full kapa haka culture, Māori.
3-part harmony.
Yeah, all in
20,000
time.
people.
There's a couple of flatties. Yeah.
Couple flatties.
Flat
You can't
people.
even- what you mean flatheads? Nah.
Flatheads, flat people,
Yeah.
flat singing.
And just back to like you before saying that music wasn't the plan A.
Nah.
What was your plan A?
I was doing IT.
IT?
Yeah, which at the time I was doing it.
Doing it?
Which at the time, when I was at high school, IT wasn't the prominent industry it is now.
Yeah.
They don't even call it IT anymore. It's too many specific, it's programming, it's coding, it's all these. But back then it was just IT.
Yeah.
It encapsulated everything, and that was the industry that was going to be the forefront of the future. And so I went to go do that at university. But then kind of just fell into depression a bit, as some people do, and I got the degree and did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what the heck am I meant to do? When you finish uni, a lot of the times they train you, they take you the teachings that they give you, but they don't actually teach you what to do after. So you just get a whole bunch of education, but not necessarily guidance on what to do with life. So I was in this big limbo for a bit in my mid-20s. What am I going to do? And went back home. And then my grandmother said, you need to do music because it's actually what you genuinely love. But at the time, I didn't realize that. So it took someone outside to tell me, hey, do music. So I committed to music after that. Whether that was going to be a teacher or playing professionally or whatever, I didn't know. But all I knew was music was going to be it. So it wasn't until my mid-20s that started happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, only yesterday. So.
Only yesterday, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And what about you, Huri? What was your calling into the music? Like when was this always your plan A or?
This is like my fourth or fifth try.
Yeah.
At this, yeah. Like, so my actual background, I'm a truck driver. So, and that's my passion. I love doing it. This is something. Growing up as a kid as well, is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Music and drive trucks,
Yeah.
Ultimately, buy a truck where I could play music on the back, Like, that's sort of like was my dream as a kid. Like, all my family drove trucks. And as a kid, you're out there washing the truck,
Yeah.
and listening to music. So it just went hand in hand for myself, So, this is my third or fourth or fifth try. I've had other bands that I've created and stuff like that. Just purely for the love of music, and this type of music, like it's not any music. But this just really kicked off for us, and definitely something we enjoy.
Yeah.
We didn't think it was going to get like this, though, but we're glad that it has. Like,
yeah. So a big, I know a big part of your journey's been through YouTube, right? YouTube's got a really big foundation for you guys, and when did you sort of, or like, was there a song where you're like, we nailed it, or what the strategy was? It just to go crazy, release, or?
I'll be real honest with you. There was no strategy.
No.
There was again, there's no intention. I knew music was what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Didn't know how that looked, but. So I didn't actually meet this guy yet till like 2017, 2016.
16.
Yeah. So I started busking on the side of the street. Was how I started this musical journey of trying to make it my job.
Yeah.
And I met this guy. I met his friends first. I busked in a place called Tauranga in New Zealand. Busking on the side of the street at night just to pay bills, pay rent. His friends saw me, and they said, "Hey, we got this guy who runs karaoke at one of the bars," because he was running karaoke at the time. Oh, would you like to meet him? And yeah, whatever. Because lots of drunk people, so you just kind of brush it off a bit. And then he came along. We started clicking, and then realizing, hey, there's something here going on. So we should chuck something on Facebook. It was Facebook at the time, not YouTube. Yeah. So that's how we got started, and then it went viral, like 1 million hits or something like that. And after that, we went, oh, okay, I think we're onto something here.
Yeah, let's carry
What was
on.
that feeling like? To get 1 million hits? Was it like surreal or?
It's
It was sore.
it was sore to get
million
a
hits
million
in the
whacks. Honestly, it was a bit surreal because you all of a sudden people know you, especially back home,
Yeah.
but you're still broke. So it was like
sure.
1 million views, still broke. So
Yeah.
there was a disconnect there between the success of the videos to what our reality was, but at the same time, still happy that people, liked what we did.
Yeah, well, it's a doorway, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like once that door's sort of open, you walk in and you don't know what's going to happen at that point.
yeah. You just take it.
And you guys, you've obviously had your successes. You've played on some pretty cool stages.
Yeah. Quite fortunate.
Yeah, which is cool. What about you, Huri? Like, what was the feeling to start seeing that traction, especially when it was like you weren't planning for it?
Well, at the start, it was a buzz, eh?
Yep.
Like so many people just watching something that you created,
Yeah.
and then it fueled the fire for us to carry on and just keep the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole ordeal hasn't been, perfect.
Yeah.
It's been, we've had our ups and our downs, like through this whole journey. But like, just from our humble beginnings to now, like it just humbles us even more. It's like it's been an awesome journey.
Yeah. And so looking at all of those sort of stages that you've been on now, do you have like a favorite memory? Do you guys have I'm sure they're all your favorites, but is there something that just stood out to you and just went, man, I just love this. This is why.
There actually has. There's been heaps, like
Heaps, to be honest.
heaps
Yeah.
to remember. Like, it depends on how you want to look at it. If you're looking at it hospitality wise, or looking at, where we played and stuff like that. Like, there's so many. We've got so many good memories that.
Like, we got invited into the middle of the bush in New Zealand to play. Like, it was talking about middle of nowhere. It's a Topol.
Oh yeah, Pub in the Scrub is the name of the place.
Like, you want to play at the pub in the scrub? And we're like, oh yeah. And turns out it was a pub in the scrub. So no reception, freezing, like -5.
Fires going everywhere, like
Snow on the mountain, but huge crowd turned up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the heck? What are the people doing here? But again, it was the type of people we were on about, just our own people, and just wanting like that sound that they grew up on. That's one favorite. Another one for me was actually last year in Perth. Because it's one thing being thing at home, and then our people here in Australia packing up venues for us, and we're like, what the but just seeing them missing home, and it felt like we gave them a piece of home.
They're a long way away from home, eh?
It's pretty long.
Like
right?
if it's
Especially
5 hours from here to Perth on an
Yeah.
aeroplane, and then still 3.5 hours home, mate. It's a long way, and it's expensive, eh?
Yeah.
And then obviously One Love was pretty memorable as well. 20,000 people. It was, I'll be honest with you though, because we've been doing this for a while now. So by the time we got to the big festivals, it didn't feel too like out of place. We just kind of felt normal.
Just felt like mahi, eh? Just felt like a job.
Yeah.
Like we'd get up there, we'll do our thing, and then
And it's
we'll
a rush
get
as
excited
well,
after
right?
when we
Yeah.
finish.
You're just like, get on. All right, you're done. Get off.
yeah.
And obviously I think a big angle we'll point this whole podcast and this whole conversation about is people on that chase to make music a career and stuff like that, and they want to be on the big stages and stuff, like for you guys on that journey, it sort of seems to be completely unfounded journey. Like you weren't planning for this sort of to come out like this, but if you could sort of if you could put side by side you at the beginning before anyone knows you and you're just playing music for the love, and then B, having to do it professionally, what's the sort of difference that you feel as a musician in regards to your enjoyment of playing music?
So doing it as a hobby is you don't have to worry about things that are unrelated to music. So you don't have to worry about business. You don't have to worry about tax. You don't have to worry about, interacting with people, because you just make music and just do whatever you want. And especially with how cheap recording technology is, you don't even need to book studio time anymore.
Yeah.
If you save
People
up
are
enough
recording
money.
on iPhones,
Yeah, people are
like,
recording on iPhones and
Yeah.
getting hits. Like, so in terms of being a hobby, it's more fun in
Yeah.
the sense of no pressure, no responsibility or obligations. But as soon as you start doing this, when money gets involved, you have to, obviously there's standards that need to be raised, so you need to dot your I's and cross your T's and check contracts and build good relationships with people and have contingency plans and all of these other things. So it's basically taking care of business and making money in Australia versus making money in New Zealand, and what are the tax rules and what are these things are important, like flights, traveling with musical gear, like how does that work? So having to learn all of this, because our career kind of just I won't say it got forced on us, but just kind of came out of nowhere, and we had to learn some of these things the hard way. And so that's probably the biggest difference. But I would say that the thing that's kept us going is making sure that we still have fun. Because once it stops being fun, you probably get another job, to be honest. Because music isn't the best way to. This might shock a few people, but they need to be told. Music is not the best way to make money. Like
Say it again.
Music is not the best way to make money.
Say the Chinese.
So I say that because if you really want to do music, money has to be secondary.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be times where it's just not good. It's going to be times you might need to pick up a day job again.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. But if you love it, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, go work in finance, go do accounting. Trust me, easier money.
Finding the right people to be around.
Yeah.
Having a good relationship with people you can trust, and just your connection, because like this industry is like back home is really small, so you want to keep your crew tight.
Yeah.
And cause our crew, we're pretty much tight as, and obviously Chris, she does a lot for us.
Give a shout out. Give a shout out.
Yeah,
Shout out to Chris,
yeah.
it's our manager. She's right.
She's great to work with. Like I've been speaking with her, very clear and.
But real experience, you
Yeah.
know. And if you got someone that's not experienced, and they're in the same boat as you, then you're sort of. And you want to go get somewhere, you need that experience from someone that's been there, done that, knows how everything works, has contacts with so many different people,
Yeah, just jobs get done, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Without it's taking me 2 weeks to get answers back. It's obviously we'll talk about today.
Yeah.
Talk about this afternoon.
Yeah.
But like how that we had to make some really sudden changes and everyone just pounced on it, made the changes, made the phone calls. Contingency plan, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's a part of it. And, on that contingency plan, obviously I'm sure you've learned some pretty tough lessons throughout your career. Like, is there...
Yep.
Yeah. Is there any, like, sort of... Any advice, I guess, you wish you guys could tell yourself from now to the beginning? That, not just advice of like, keep on going, bro. Not that. It's like more like, bro, don't do
Something
that.
more specific.
Something more specific, or even, a couple of things that you want to say, just to, if you could say something to your past.
Yeah, it's both a creative thing and a business thing. Release stuff immediately. A lot of creatives will hold a lot of their content because they're worried about it being perfect. But you need to release it, one, so it can get judged by the crowds. Because once you release it, then you can improve. Because if you keep holding your music or content, you cannot improve.
It's like water, eh?
Yeah.
If it stays too long,
it goes like, because the only person judging it is you, and like you're only one voice, so you need to get things out quick and more. Like, because one of the big mistakes we made was trying to get things too perfect, and we were sitting on the single for like 3-4 years, and it's like we could have dropped that ages
Is that
ago.
I Wonder Why?
Nah. It's another one that's coming out soon.
Oh, so still holding on to it.
Yeah.
3 more years?
Yeah, so we're finally releasing it after all these years, probably next month.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say that to say you need to do it so you get the feedback of the public, and then you can improve. If you watch some of our first videos, they're terrible in terms of like video quality.
Audio's good though.
Yeah, the audio is good, but
And we're
sometimes
really skinny
yeah,
too in those videos.
yeah, we're quite
Give it a
skinny
skinny.
as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
So the
you know,
music life's good, eh?
yeah, yep. But yeah, so just releasing things quick so you can, so people can tell you in the comments like, hey, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like
They
I
will
know,
say
yeah,
it as
but
well,
yeah,
right?
or this is good, and then you can improve. But if you keep holding on to it, it's
You're not going to get honest opinions, about your stuff. Like, you're going to send it to a mate, and they're not going to be honest with you.
It's
Oh,
like when
this
you get
is
a
me.
haircut, eh, and
Yeah.
it looks crap.
Yeah,
and
the
you're
other-
like, yeah, it looks good.
The other thing
Yeah.
musicians are guilty of doing is release, like they'll show their mates, but their mates are also musicians.
Yeah.
And guess who's not buying your music?
Yeah.
Is other musicians. Musicians don't buy your music.
Nah,
They don't
yeah.
stream it. They don't care because they're making their own music.
Yeah.
So you need to get it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
And that applies to business too because you got more content,
Yeah.
with the streams. Like numbers can go up once you start releasing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And how about you, Huri? Like, is it like if you could give yourself some advice from when you first got into it, something to look out for, something to watch out for? Is there anything that you wish that you would do differently? Even though I know you can no regrets, but if there's
Yeah,
anything,
No regrets, yeah. Mine would be I should have stayed away from the kai.
From the food.
From the food. Yeah. We just, everywhere we go, it's just food. But no, I don't, honestly, I don't have anything bad.
nah.
Bad experiences,
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
we like heaps to learn from, like, but yeah, I don't really have anything.
Nah.
I suppose I got one more. Just make sure you have sign contracts with people.
Yeah.
Because the second gig we ever done, we didn't sign a contract, and we got up there, travelled like 8 hours,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
true that. Yeah.
And when we finished the gig, they didn't pay us, and there was no paper trail, to say,
Did they talk to you?
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are we gonna do? Take them to court for what? For
Yeah.
no paper trail. So they can get. I mean, you can give them a hiding if you want, but like then you're going to jail. It just just escalates into this terrible situation. So make sure you get into a contract, read contracts. Every gig, even if it's a birthday, like
Gone
make-
are the days where you signed a contract by shaking someone's hand.
those
Like,
those days are long gone. You need
Yeah.
to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of snakes and,
Yep.
hyenas in the industry and that sort of stuff. Have you ever come across anything sort of like dodgy where you were like, oh, thankfully we had that in place? And
Oh, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. So
yeah, don't get into specifics. Just yes or no's all good.
yeah. Lots of the industry's really dodgy.
Yeah.
Like and I'm sure it's like that here in Australia too. Like,
Yeah.
But one of the beautiful things about New Zealand is because the industry is small in numbers. I mean, once something bad happens, it kind of gets ratted out,
Yeah,
and then like that person's gone,
Yeah.
or that company's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say try not actually, now that we're going on this advice thing, try not to get involved in the excess of what gets offered, and I'm talking about alcohol, drugs, and all those things. I'm not saying
yeah.
don't do those things, because we're musos, mate. That's what we do. But just know that there's consequences nowadays. Like
Yeah.
long gone are the days where cameras aren't backstage.
oh yeah, Big Brother's watching.
Big
eh?
Brother's watching you
Yeah.
everywhere. Everyone's got a camera. Everyone's got something. So you really have to be on your guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, which puts off people, but hey, that's the truth. Got to be on your guard.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, obviously speaking about alcohol and drugs and all that sort of stuff, like it's readily available. At most
Oh, is
venues,
it?
yeah, here in my pocket. No. Obviously, as you know, like, I've been to a few sort of not main festival backstages, but definitely I've been around my share of venues, and it's pretty common to see an esky full and, all that sort of stuff. And
Yep.
I guess if you get into the habit of putting that, that's your foundation of music, that you need to be drunk to sing, because some people
Yeah.
do. They
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be drunk to sing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
take alcohol away and
Yeah.
they
Yep.
can't even say hello to anyone.
Yeah.
Then they get drunk.
But see, like, how much alcohol do you need to sing? Do you need like a shot, or do you need the whole bottle of?
Yeah.
So like, because I know people, and I don't judge them, because like you need what you need to get on. So that's why I'm not preaching sobriety here,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like, be careful. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
know that there's a consequence for you taking too much things.
It's. I heard a saying. It's you know, like water. If you have none, you'll die. If you have too much, you drown.
Exactly.
It's just, but if you don't have enough, there's a right amount to live. You know, live your life.
Yeah.
And you know that's a big thing because people just need to be mindful of that, of the damages of putting alcohol first before your performance. Because I don't think you won't be able to have a long-term career. I don't think really,
Nah, not anymore. Like the old stars, like the legends in this game can, because they came from a different time. But if you're coming up in this time, you can't.
That was when alcohol was pure.
Yeah. It's the real pure stuff.
The real pure alcohol.
Nose beers.
Yeah, the old nose beers and stuff. But yeah. I know it's all done, and like I said, not preaching sobriety, but just be careful, especially if you're up and coming.
Yeah. Maintain yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like our thing is like when we perform, we don't touch alcohol. Like not that we drink anyway, we're boring, but our thing is even like when we have our band, or we've got a band playing for us.
Yeah.
No alcohol. Like
You can do whatever you want after but on
but
stage,
not
you
during.
need to perform for the people because that's your job.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And you know, let's shine the light on that. It's the job. That is the job.
Just like, are the bartenders getting wasted? Is the bouncer getting wasted? No, maybe they are, but they shouldn't be, But like imagine if you had a drunk bouncer, and he's just throwing hands at everyone because he's drunk. So like if they have to have a standard, then I think musicians need to hold themselves to accountable and realize we're entertainers.
Yeah.
We're actually here to serve the people.
Yeah.
With our music, so.
Yeah, and so a big part of what we are trying to do here is we see a bit of a struggle in the industry. Obviously, I know that I'm not in New Zealand. I can only see from socials, but it feels like the New Zealand industry is pretty together. There's a lot of community there, and a lot of people work together. I'm never really seen a lot of people on their own. I usually see lineups, and I've seen, just full houses all day long. But here, I think there's a bit more of a struggle. There's been a lot of festivals shutting down, a lot of people, not showing up, obviously, like this afternoon. You try and put a good show on, you try and bring some people together, but you do see that sort of, a bit of a difficult thing that's happening. And I don't think it's been an ongoing thing. I think it's been in the last couple of years, or maybe post-COVID, or with the cost of living and all that sort of stuff. Like over the years, what year did you guys first come to Australia? What year was
Just
that?
last year. Yeah.
Just last year? And did you see a difference between last year and sort of more recent times? Or have you only been here once?
Only been here once, but we were here for like 2 weeks and
Yeah.
toured Victoria, New South Wales, here, and Brisbane.
Australia.
Yeah, in Western Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But we seem to pick up most of the buildings, so it's hard for me to know, really.
Yeah.
But from our perspective, it feels like you have to be big in New Zealand first, and then come back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, that's what we observed.
Yeah, for sure. And with you guys coming over, like, what was the strategy? Did you guys look at the data and go, we know where our following is? Did you guys do some, polling? Did you, you obviously didn't just blindly jump over here and go, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, because it is a big financial risk to like come from another country, and even though it's only just across the ditch, so to speak. First of all, you got to read your comments, because they'll tell you.
Yeah.
They'll tell you exactly where they want you.
Yeah.
And looking at the analytics, like so on YouTube will show you where your demographics are. Mm-hmm. Spotify will show you, and then we noticed there were heaps in Aussie, heaps of Māoris, heaps of Pacific Islanders.
Yeah.
And then again, just putting it to your following, just like, hey, do you guys want us in Aussie?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even with all that, there's still this risk of they're all talk.
Yeah,
they might just be saying that. So, those are the things you can kind of do to ensure that you're going to have an okay turnout.
Yeah.
And then pricing is important. Yeah, because you have to understand that right now. Yeah, there's an inflation going on.
Yeah.
Cost of living. Is it realistic to be charging for events? Yeah. One error we did make was we booked the Coolangatta show the same time as LAB did a show in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
So it was conflicting. So LAB's got an even bigger following than us.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
A tad.
Yeah, and so we had a good turnout, but we didn't pack the place out like we normally do.
Yeah.
So those are the types of things that you need to look at too. Is like, is it conflicting with any other major events?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the big things. So ask your following, check the local events going on to make sure it doesn't conflict too much. And if it does, make sure you have a bigger following than that event. So yeah.
And what about lead-in time? Like, did you guys plan a year ahead, 6 months, or
Yeah, about 2 years to be honest.
2 years?
What was that for?
For Aussie, we actually planned 2 years, but COVID happened,
Yeah.
so kind of rested that thought for a bit till we were able to travel again. And then our manager Chris, she's did a good job on this. Just using her contacts, was able to organise it in about 6 months.
6
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
Yeah, there's good stuff to understand and to sort of, know priors to people who are going to plan to do their breakout tour like you guys done. Just to know these sort of, okay, this is how much it's going to take. This is how long it's going to, all of that sort of planning and strategy. And I'm guessing Chris would probably have the more technical answers, but, I'm sure that you guys done a lot of the just checking where you're going to go off first.
Yeah. Seeing the hot areas.
Yeah.
And to be honest, some of the areas that we wanted to play, we couldn't play because, local politics, I suppose you could say, like promoters and they want certain fees or whatever. It could be any kind of random thing. So you have to, again, contingency plans. So we were meant to play in Logan, but we ended up playing some other place. And, but it all worked out. So just having plans for that plan as well,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro. And obviously it's been, you guys, so 2016, you guys sort of, that's when you first put yourself on the map?
Nah, that's just when we met. 2017 is kind of when we actually started doing this stuff.
Doing this, yeah.
2017, yeah, man. I mean, it's, what a journey you guys have had, eh? It's
been awesome. Really privileged, to be honest. Like, again, I shouldn't even be here, but we are. And so just being thankful and doing your best, really, for the people.
Yeah, and how was it working with, obviously, the different promoters around? And, did you find when you done the tour you had to work individually with different promoters, or like back to that sort of topic?
Nah.
No?
We had our own crew.
Okay, so you just
So that we
in-house.
just, our own tight crew.
Yeah.
We just keep everything in-house, do everything ourselves. Obviously with venues.
Yeah.
So the way Chris organised it was most of the venues we used here already had in-house sound, so that there were minimal things that we had to bring from home to Australia, And then we had our on-road tour manager with us as well, Soundy.
Yeah.
And we just stuck together and we just done everything ourselves, kept our circle small.
Nice, man, nice. Obviously, one of the segments we want to have is, it's called dinner parties. It's if you could sit down and have dinner with any musician, who would that be?
Oh, that's a good
You
question.
go first so I can think.
Well, yeah. It'd probably have to be, oh, jeez. We've got so many.
It's a hard question.
Dead or alive?
Both.
Oh, okay.
One dead, one alive.
One dead, one alive?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all
Or
right.
how about just a marae kai?
Okay, Last Supper. Yeah,
Last
yeah, okay, we'll give you 20.
Yeah, one dead, one alive.
One dead, one alive.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I got one alive is Joe Satriani. He's probably, which is completely outside of the music that we do.
Oh,
But Joe Satriani's like the big reason I even play guitar. So,
Wow.
been to all his concerts every time he comes to New Zealand. Big influence. He's the kind of the reason. When I heard his music, I didn't think you could do the things that he did on guitar. I was like, whoa. Be good to get his insight onto things. In terms of gone, probably it's tough between Bob Marley and Jimi Hendrix. I don't know.
That's a hard one.
It's a hard one, man.
I got a feeling Jimi Hendrix wouldn't offer you much. In
Nah,
regards to the
maybe just LSD, but
yeah. I don't think you'll offer that either,
yeah,
bro.
you might take it all.
You'll take it all.
Yeah,
And
maybe
just-
maybe Bob Marley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Nothing
Bob-
against
yeah.
you, Jimmy, if you're up there.
Nah, He's
But
all
it's
good.
just that when I know you'll be tripping out over there, and I'll be like, "Oh, this was a waste."
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you could ask them a question,
Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah. I
It's
want to go
even
there,
harder.
man. I want to go there. Who
Yeah.
shot you?
Yeah. Who shot you? Who shot you, Bob? No, you know who did it. You know, I'll probably ask Bob. Was it worth it? You know, because he.
having different women.
No, just there's the journey that he went on, and you know the fight that he had, because there were multiple times in his career, if you look into it, where he could have just gone mainstream and gone away from his morals, and you know, was it worth it? You know, because we never get those questions because they die. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then with Joe Satriani, it'd just be like, you know, what keeps you going? Because he's in his 60s now, and he's still touring and he's still playing just as good. And it's like, so I'd probably ask him a bit more technical things, like how do you keep your fingers so like in, you know, good health, good and fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'd do.
Yeah.
So my two, my first one, both of mine are dead. Sorry, I don't. My first one will be probably fella country artist. His name was Mel Haggard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
So sort of the same music I sort of was brought up on.
Yeah.
You know, country music's been very much a part of my life. You know.
Yeah.
Growing up, like I'd listen to country over reggae music any day. Like
Yeah.
I get sick of listening to reggae. Like that's how much like I love it for so long, and then I just get annoyed with it. Yeah. But like country music, it's not like that. Like any sort of country music. Not so much the like nowadays
New
stuff.
Yeah.
The new stuff, like more of the old sort of country music, hoedown. Yeah. They say, you know, what do you get when you play a country song backwards? You know, you get your car back, you get your wife back, you get your dog back. You know. But yeah. So, and then my second person would obviously be someone from home.
Yeah.
That's passed, and it'll probably be Prince Tuitika.
Oh yeah.
Would be another one. Everyone from home knows who Prince Tuitika was, you know. He'd be someone that I'd love to sit down and have a feed with.
Yeah.
And things I'd ask him, Prince Tuitika would be, I don't even know what I'd ask him. Jeez, yeah.
For a cup of tea.
Yeah. yeah. Was it worth it? Yeah. Was it worth all the boil ups?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know what I'd ask them. Yeah.
It's a hard one, eh? Because
That
you
is
can't
hard,
just,
yeah.
you know, you can't just. What would you, you know?
Yeah.
Ask them for money.
Yeah, ask them for money. Got any money, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's sort of on the horizon for you guys? Like, for, you know, are you guys wanting to release more? Do you guys have an album in the works, or?
Yeah. All the album questions good, because just there's a debate going on in the music world. I'm sure everyone's aware about singles versus albums.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I know the debate.
Yeah.
But what's your opinion on it?
Well, numbers don't lie, Numbers don't lie. Singles are winning.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to albums, like in terms of pure numbers. So we were going to release an album, but I think we're just going to keep releasing singles at the moment, And I don't like that personally, but I guess it's just the shift in the industry at the moment. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe it'll change. I think it's going to take something radical though for it to change.
Yeah.
Like a new platform or a new way of listening to music. But right now in its current form with streaming, you're probably just releasing more singles. We've got a few in the works.
You got a few in the works?
Yeah. And just releasing them every 3 months or every month or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously more touring.
Yeah.
Planning to come back to Australia soon for a big tour. Taking some of the things that we did last time and then improving.
Yeah, stepping it up.
Yeah. Stepping it up and maybe not doing 4 different states in 11 days, you know, like maybe doing it state by state. We'll see though.
Yeah. And who does all of the writing and stuff? Do you share the writing or you?
Yeah, just share the writings, collaborate too. Like you said, the New Zealand industry is quite tight,
Yeah.
so we're often collaborating with other artists
Yeah.
all the time. People are just happy to throw songs to people.
Yeah.
So if you write a song and you're like, this song's not really for me, you just give it to, like, I mean, yeah, I don't even know, again, I don't know what I can say. So, yeah, but we are working with other people as well. So,
Yeah. That's cool. It must be someone cool if you can't even say it.
Yeah, a few people. I don't want to get in trouble, that's all.
That's for sure, 100%. You look like you want to say something.
No, I was, but no. Oh, actually, I'm sure he won't mind. One of them was Jay from
Yeah.
That one's all right. We're actually meeting up tomorrow, actually, to talk about. He wrote a song, and we're just going to see if we can make that work. And, yeah, so be good.
Yeah. A funny, interesting thing that I've got on my mind is, when you guys sort of did do the crossover, because you definitely have crossed over. Who was there anyone that you went, wow, I'm with this person right now? Like someone, like UB40 or someone, did you get to like, that just stunned you?
Oh, that wow moment.
That wow moment where you're like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, probably Tio from House of Shem, Te Omeka.
Yeah.
Because I grew up listening to him.
Yeah.
So it was like, bro, I used to have the actual CD for that.
All his music.
Yeah, for all his music.
Yeah.
Just thumping them, and then like, he's saying, oh, bro, what's up, bro? I'll listen to your music. And I'm like, you listen to us? Like, huh? So it was like a bit of a... And then the other one was probably Catch a Fire inviting us to open. And, you think, oh, it's just management because they see our numbers. But, Logan's like, oh, good to see you guys. Wow, I really like your music. And so those two things there were like, what the...
Yeah.
But, like, your childhood heroes kind of acknowledging you, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything for you?
Wow moments. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Mine's the same as TJ's.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've experienced all our moments together. So it's been like pretty much what we've both experienced is the same, and yeah. So those two, and then being backstage at One Love as well, just the environment.
Yeah.
Just been like, wow, we actually
Connecting with different people.
Yeah.
We actually kind of made it for our level,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I think for us to sort of go on is from your perspective as musicians, today, there's obviously, we've got three main aspects of the music industry, right? You've got music lovers, you've got musicians, and you've got venues. And a big part of what we want to do is sort of to educate people on how to better support you guys as artists and the music industry, so that way people who have that calling of music have that support and foundation, and a big thing is, just to sort of tell everyone out there, like, from, if you were to speak not just to one venue, to all venues to better cater to you so you can perform better, like what's one advice you could give to all venues, just if they host musicians, to just make the music experience better?
If I'm being honest with you, really, the onus is on the musicians, and not the venues. Like, I know venues will have rules and stuff, but they're all so different, right? Going from venue to venue. Like, even this venue compared to the venue last night's different. So, like, with the venues, you can only say so much, but I think with musicians, it's more like, make sure you turn up on time, or, like, to the actual gig. Don't turn up so inebriated you can't play.
Yeah.
Like, those sorts of things, and just be professional. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose with the venues, if I did have to give advice, it's just like, hey, just clear lines of communication, eh?
Yeah.
Don't,
Be willing to work.
be willing
together.
to work together. Yeah.
Like, don't just think that because it's their venue, that at the end of the day they have the last say, but
For sure.
we need to work together, because obviously us as musicians and them as the venue owners, our ultimate goal is the people that are inside.
Yeah.
We need the people, both of us need the people inside this building to obviously, that's how we're getting paid.
Pay our bills. Yeah.
Hey, that's how we're getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we can't work together,
Yeah.
then what's the point in trying to, make something happen, eh?
So I suppose it's just hold your end up. Like,
Yeah.
both sides, musicians and venues, hold your end of the bargain so we can do something good.
Yeah,
Like,
like
'cause we've had venues, like, we Crystal work together with venues, and, like, obviously she has allocated time for promotion and marketing, so she'll send them posters and stuff like that. But we'll get to a venue and we don't even have a poster up, eh? Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
haven't, they haven't kept to their end of the bargain.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
You know,
that's a
so
big
like
thing.
it's just like keeping to your end of the bargains too,
yeah,
and yeah, like 'cause it is like gut reaching, when you get to a place and like, what the hell? No one even knows
Yeah.
we're playing here.
O-
Like,
obviously, yeah. Sometimes people just don't come, and that's nobody's fault.
Yeah.
But there are times when you're like, I came here and I didn't see a single sign that I was meant to be here. You know, yeah. Especially if you've planned it months in advance. You know.
yeah.
So it's like hold your end of the bargain up, and then same with musicians. Make sure you put on a show, man.
yeah.
Like, people,
but in saying that, we've gone to places and like there's millions of posters. Like,
Yeah.
they've really supported us and wanted things to happen. Like, yeah, but each venue has their own sort of whakaaro on how they want things, their own thought on how they want things to happen.
Because they'll know their audience, they'll know their area, they'll know what works for them.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe their audience was like, oh, I don't like all these posters up here all the time. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
But then just being clear about that. It's like we haven't
Communication.
put all
Yeah.
these posters up because in this area that's kind of seen as a bit gimmicky and dumb.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
like, it would
cool.
have been mean if we
cool.
got there. Like, everyone keeps stealing the poster. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
There's no posters. Or
So that's all right. Just because no one knows the area like the venue.
yeah.
Yeah. No matter how good famous a person is, no matter how big the artist is, we can get big artists not selling out because the venue just wasn't willing to advertise. Because at the end of the day, they're going to make money as well,
Yeah.
especially with bar sales.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. And obviously, like you said before, the other main key of all of this is the people who come, the punters, the music lovers. I know that it can be as loving as they can be ruthless if they've.
Yeah. Felt that one.
we've had many of those.
We've had both.
Yeah.
We've had the love and the aggression. So
And I think like a big target of what we want to talk about is to talk to the audience. It's not to it's not about one person or two people, but it's to talk to them because I think it's the industry relies on them. They are the customer, right? The venue is the retailer, and you guys are the product, of course. But obviously, if the customers don't come in, then the product and the retailers, it's like that supply and demand sort of situation, right? You know, a thing I want to ask about is over your time, like all of the different kinds of people, is there any sort of like thing you could say to just people if you're gonna come, like, bring good vibes or whatever it's gonna be? Is there any sort of thing you can just tell the average audience or the average, music lover,
Punter.
the average punter, just to sort of come through and support the local scene or support uprising acts or whatever it is, whether it's crowd etiquette or being quiet when people are singing or whatever it's going to be? Is there anything like sort of advice you have to people if they're going to come to not just your show, but any show like open mic or any show,
Just be respectful. Like, obviously, we know you're coming to have a good time, but just respect your surroundings, respect the people that are there. Because, like, each person is different,
Yeah.
Look after each other. And just, respect your surroundings is the biggest. And, just like you're saying, just bring good vibes, The last thing you want to do is come to a place thinking that you're going to come to have a scrap, Like, like which we've experienced heaps of that before as well, in our gigs and stuff like that. But just come and be a good cunt, Like, don't, just leave your worries at home and just come and have a good time.
Yeah.
But be respectful.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's all I can say too. Is just be respectful. Obviously, people are on all sorts of whatever they're on.
Yeah.
And so that changes behaviour a bit, but do your best, and just look after one another. That's all.
Yeah.
Because and enjoy it. Try not to put liquids near electronics.
Liquids in there, electronics, everyone.
Yeah. Look, it's got a sign there. But when you got your beer goggles on there, it'll look like $10.
Yeah. But it's actually $10,000 that. Yeah. So don't put your beer on the amps or the subs or the.
Yeah, man. And I think from from us trying to sort of try and build this event that we've been trying to do, and then from you guys touring, the amount of work that goes into putting on those shows.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I think people should be a little bit more patient and understanding with shortcomings, because it's like, man, it's crazy, you know. There's so much, like you said, 12 months to plan a tour.
Yeah.
People aren't thinking 12 months ahead, like in their day-to-day life. Just imagining how much pressure's on you guys, how much risk it is to come to people's shows. One thing goes wrong and suddenly everyone wants to say these things and put pressure on everyone. Yeah. You know, I think people should just be a bit more patient and a bit more loving and caring towards the amount of effort for you guys to come.
Pretty much, yeah. If there's errors being made that are like either out of your control or just something bad happens, you have to be patient. But I think the problem is we're in a culture now where the consumer's king, and you know whatever they say is right. And so it's hard.
Yeah.
But in a way, I agree.
Yeah,
We're here for the people.
They're the customers.
Yeah,
always
but
right.
there's also a level of like, hey, it's not that simple. You know, sometimes. Yeah. Like you said, 12 months to plan a tour in another country.
Yeah.
You know, so just, I suppose coming with good intentions and just, it helps.
Yeah, for sure, man. And, you know, obviously we've brought you guys over to put this event on at the Yacht Club. I want to pull the Band-Aid off that, if that's okay with you guys. And, you know, it's obviously a bit of a crazy situation to be in, that we've had to do this big, huge change, about to pull together all this afternoon an awesome show here. And from a promoter's perspective, you know, it's so much work to be able to go into that sort of stuff. Like, is there sort of any aspect of the last sort of 24, 48 hours that you feel like that could be a light shown on, or do you reckon it's just sort of that's the way it is? You know, some you win, some you lose.
Yeah, to be honest, it's just the way it is. Like, it's one of those hard like realities in life where it sucks. It just does. But for us, this isn't the first time we've seen this.
Yeah.
Or experienced it.
Yeah.
And it won't be the last. There'll be future events. But what you can do is like, okay, so this didn't happen. Why didn't this happen? And just taking the time to analyze after you get over the emotions, because there's emotions and you can't stop that. You know, I'm guessing you can tell me if I'm wrong. Feeling disappointed, bit sad, bit angry.
Yeah,
like just the usual.
Well, we done a lot of pre-interest to try and see if it was the right gig.
Background, a lot of mahi given in the background,
a lot of it. And a big thing was the tā moko kawa, and you know. Yeah,
so that was something I was going to bring up too. When I found that out, I was like, we've already banned half of our target audience from coming. They can't even come, even if they got the money.
Yeah.
So like, when you get over the initial sadness or the loss, just analyze everything, because then you can say, okay, next time I'm going to make sure that people will accept people who look like us.
Yeah.
Because you can sit there and you say, oh, it's racist, it's this and that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's their venue, and they can do whatever they want.
That's their policy.
Yeah, that's their policy.
That's what they want. That's what they want.
And I think this is specifically targeted towards Māoris living in Australia. This is not our home. We do not belong here. So if the people here say no tāmokos on your face, cool, come back home if you want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what some might disagree with me, but honestly, I'm a big believer in this.
Yeah.
Like, I come into these people's homes, Australia.
Yeah.
There's people that belong here, been here for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
Yeah.
And I'm a visitor.
Yeah.
So be respectful of that. And even though I know some of you are second generation, whatever, this is still not our home.
Yeah.
This is their home.
Yeah.
So that would be one thing. It's like, okay, we need to find a place that does accommodate us.
That welcomes, I mean, that was the thing, you know, like when we sort of went down that path, everyone said, I wanted to always go on that waka.
It would be nice, eh? See, the fact we're calling it waka, and everyone, you know,
the waka club.
People are like, what's a waka? You know, like, it's a boat in Māori. So just those little things, and so, that's something we can learn off. Like, after you, like, it sounds harsh, but it's like, that's what it is. Yeah.
Once you're at the bottom, there's only other place you can go.
Yep.
Yeah,
you can't go any more down the bottom.
Than the ground,
That's right, man. That's right.
And these things happen, and it's just a case of learning from these experiences. And just looking back, what's that word?
In retrospect,
Retrospect.
Analyze, like you were saying, just analyze your pros and cons on everything and what you could do better.
Yeah.
and what things are worth fighting for. Because it is like it's a little bit of racism, but like it's also like it's not worth fighting that when you could just go somewhere else. Like here, that's quite accepting of people.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah,
things
that's
like that.
right as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, man. And it's the industry and it's the way the cookie crumbles. And
Yeah.
you know, I think back to like working with venues, like you know, you win together and you lose together, right? Like when you win,
It's amazing.
you know, we're at Soul Bar on the Friday with Tiki, and next level. You know, everyone was happy, the vibe was happy, venue was happy, and everything. But you need to equally take the loss. If you're bringing wins, and then you take a loss, just okay, we lose together. You know,
pretty much.
because we all put a good effort in, we all worked together. Artist came up, promo was right, everything was good. And I guess the part why I'm sort of talking about this is because it's good to sort of go down that road. Everyone talks about the music industry, it's all fluffy and it's all, you know, butterflies and all that sort of stuff. But I guess the light needs to be shown on the difficulties and what you got to endure, you know, and how much you got to endure to get to where you got. Because you guys are here, but there's realities, you know.
Yeah, I think people can get put off by the fact that it is hard, and so they'll stop doing this. But what I'd say is, if it's worth it. Like it's worth putting in the effort.
Yeah.
Because the amount of joy, I'd rather be putting in this effort for this than like for someone else in some corporate job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's hard, but it's But there are more failures, to be honest, than wins. If you don't learn off it though, and you just sit there and be bitter about it, it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
So just get over it, learn. What can we do different, and carry on, man.
Try again.
Yeah, and contingency, big one.
Sure, man. And obviously, you've released that Wonder Why. So, how's that been going? It's been
not too bad actually. We're independent artists as well, so, and like truly independent. So in New Zealand, you can get funding from the government for like artists to like do music videos.
Yeah.
Even some of the big artists are getting this funding, like 660 LAB, and we just purposely decided, no, we're going to fund it on our own. More of a statement of this is from our own hands, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a saying in Māori, he kai au kuringa, ke au kuringa, which means there's food at the end of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like I've done this, you know. So we've done that, and despite not having all the promo of the Te Māngai Pāho and all these other outlets from New Zealand, NZ On Air, we've managed to, you know, we got a placing in the charts for a little bit, and you know, it's doing all right. It's doing all right.
I love that song too.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a slow burner. Like we just keep pushing it, keep promoting it, but yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The main thing for us is not to get too emotionally attached to the song.
Yeah.
Like and try go, oh no, all my hopes and dreams are in that song being big. It's like, yeah, it's just a piece of content. And release another one. You know, don't get too bogged down by your own songs. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you know, we're coming to the end of the interview and the podcast and that sort of stuff. So, do you have any parting words for any upcoming musicians that you just could sort of pass on, or people that's, you know, maybe even not upcoming, they're already up the top, or whatever it's going to be?
Yeah, just like I said at the beginning, there's better ways to make money. So do this for the love of it, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, yeah. Obviously, you can do well in this business. You can do well, but easier ways to make money. Go sell drugs, man. Like, nah, don't sell drugs. Just do it, though.
Just do it.
Yeah, ultimately, just
learn
do it.
from your experiences. Wrap yourself around the right.
Make all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Just
Have the right influences around you. Wrap yourself around the influences of the direction you want to go.
Yeah.
Like this, it hasn't the whole. It hasn't been easy, but it hasn't been hard for us. We just you're not gonna know until you actually do it.
Just like ride the roller coaster.
Any feedback is good feedback. Whether it's negative, whether it's positive, you know, you're always gonna have someone that's gonna shoot you down.
Yeah.
But you just rise from it. Like just take it as feedback.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. You know, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You're going to have your target market of the people you want to reach, but that might not necessarily be the case.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you just carry on doing what you love.
Yeah.
And just do it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just the only thing
Just
you
do
can
it.
do.
But yeah, because like you just have to want to do it as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you got a single coming up sometime soon. Can you drop any names? Can you drop any dates at least? Or
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of what you're looking at?
Not quite a date. We're waiting. We've got a music video, and the guy who's editing our videos overseas, so we're just waiting for him to hurry up. Hey, bro. Nah, he'll finish that soon, and then we'll get that rolling. Probably, mid August.
Mid-August, around there?
Yeah, and
So
but we'll
September?
announce it all on our socials and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then just keep it going.
Yeah, cool as. And your tour, you're looking next year or?
Yeah. Again, it's in the works. It's
in the
planning.
works?
Yeah. Trying to figure out where do we go again, and
Yeah.
how much should we do, and all of that good stuff. But definitely in the works.
Yeah, and for those watching from home, back home in New Zealand, what's your shows coming up that we can?
To be honest, we're kind of booked doing privates at the moment, private gigs.
Cool.
So which is good because private gigs pay you a lot of money.
They keep us afloat, too.
They keep us afloat,
Yeah.
man. Corporate gigs, weddings, 21st, the whole lot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but in terms of, we're planning on doing a New Zealand tour again as well because people want it. So stay tuned for that, eh?
Stay tuned for that one there.
Hopefully in summer.
Yeah, man. Well, it's an absolute pleasure having you guys come over here, despite all of the nuances of what's happened today. That's all good.
Nah, man.
It's going to be an epic night tonight here at Den Devine, and we're just going to keep the vibes high and keep things rolling, and
For sure.
just get everyone in the moment, and and that sort of stuff. So thank you, bro, for coming along.
No. And just big shout out to you, bro, too, for having us over.
Yeah, bro.
And really appreciate the hospitality. Even despite all the ups and downs, you've been here just being hospitable, bro.
Thank you,
You and
bro.
your crew.
Yeah,
So you've made us feel the love, and really appreciate it.
appreciate it, bro.